Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I provide online valuation services for mediation and litigation based in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we'll be discussing divorce, prenups, and parenting plans with Calina Costa Plotky. She's a family law attorney in Atlanta, Georgia with KF Law, LLC. She concentrates primarily on family law, which would include divorce or child custody, child support, modification of maintenance, alimony, prenuptial agreements, and the list goes on. I'm sure you have at least a story or something that you could share, but do you have like a good example of a time where a prenup kind of went wrong or that like had an intent, but didn't really provide that security?
I mean, the craziest stories coming out of Georgia are going to be the financial disclosures. Really, it's going to be when people that make over $1 million a year and have $10 million in assets forget to disclose bank accounts where they have $300,000 in it. And that will invalidate the entire prenup. The judge isn't going to pick sections to validate. They're going to invalidate the whole thing. And even if you try to go back later and do a postnup to reaffirm, the original prenup is void. So there's no point in you trying to do that because you'd have to write a brand new one to try to fix that. But we do get some every once in a while that, is for each year of marriage, you get a couple $100,000 and things like that. So it is very funny to see people come in after that large hike and say, all right, I'm done.
So. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and I think it's interesting because I agree with you. When you have kind of high net worth individuals or second marriages, third marriages, hopefully not fourth marriages, but they happen. I think that they may lose track of where a random account is, or that the random account existed. And that is a very interesting. I think it's also kind of how do you prove it? Like going back to prove the existence of it also has some complications. But
yeah, people are usually not as smart as they think they are in their head, because especially when they're in love and engaged, right, about to get married, they'll like send emails about screwing over their ex-spouse and like not even realize they're disclosing accounts that they hadn't told the other person about, and all sorts of things where you're screwing over one person without realizing that this new person is taking note of all this because you're probably going to try to screw them over in the exact same way.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And it really is a sticky mess because I think, back in the day, they used to say, if you need to get a prenup, then maybe you shouldn't be getting married, but you have a little bit different take on it. And I would agree because I'm in the same field is that you think everyone should probably do a prenup, right?
Yep. I do. I'm in Georgia, right? So I'm a Southern girl. So I carry a firearm. Most people here in the state of Georgia do. And I explain it to my Southern friends the same way is a prenup is like having a gun. You have a gun to protect yourself. The actual percentage that you're actually going to ever have to fire your firearm in self-defense is so low. Think of the prenup the same way it's there to protect you. And believe it or not, a lot of people who do get prenups are usually the ones less likely to use it in the event of a divorce.
Well, because you've talked about how you're going to do this, like you already, and if you don't like that, then you should say no. And you should get somebody else to negotiate with you or for you on your behalf.